Cash is king. Now, what does that mean in my terms? Well, you got your money out there. You got your credit cards with no balances on them. You got your 401k. You got CDs. You got different things. You got your house. Maybe you paid your house off. But what I found out that is if you have cash, and I'm going to take round figures. Let's say currently you live off of $50,000 a year. Your essentials is $50,000 a year. Rent, car note, property insurance, property tax, car insurance, lights, gas, water, whatever. Let's say it's 50,000. All right, and let's say you make 100,000. So we just made it even. 100, you make 100,000, you live off 50,000. Well, what I'm started figuring out, as far as when you're going to be off work, you have to learn how to play the tax game. Now that might be retirement. That mean you might want to quit early, whatever. But let's take retirement. If you have $100,000 cash, and when I say cash, I'm talking like money market cash. So you put it in money market, you get 4%, but you can take it out daily. All right. So that $100,000 is sitting there making 4% a year. All round figures for right now. So on that 100,000, it's going to be worth 104 at the end of the year if you don't touch it. So let's say on January 1st, you retire. You could live off of that 100,000 because you only need 50,000 to live for 2 years. All right. What you essentially have done is you have not collected an income for those 2 years. So you don't have to pay taxes. So when you were making $100,000 a year, you were paying 25% taxes on that $100,000. Well, if you have that just sitting over here in a money market account that you can get at any time, and you just take out only the 50,000 that you need, for 2 years, essentially your next year's income is zero because you've already paid taxes on that 100,000 on there when you were building it up over the last 10, 15 years. Avoiding those taxes for 2 years allows your 401k to keep growing. It allows, like I said, if your house is paid off, it allows your house, hopefully, to keep going up in value. You've made $4,000 to $8,000 in interest on the money market. Now you may have to pay taxes on that 4,000 to 8,000, but that's under 10%. You might pay $800. So I found out that cash is king in those regards. But what really made me understand that cash is king, even years ago when I had did an investment, is if that cash is liquid, if you can get to that cash immediately, if the stock market goes down, let's say Meta or TikTok or any of these, Coca-Cola, any of these strong companies, say the market crashes and all of that stock goes down to 50%. If you got 100K sitting over here, you can take 10, 15, 20K, however much. Let's say you take 10K and go buy that Coca-Cola stock or that Tesla stock or whatever. And there is a great chance that when the stock market bounces back, that Tesla, that Coca-Cola, that Amazon, when the stock market bounces back, your $10,000 is going to turn into way more than $10,000. And that's what happened with me. I had money on hand when the housing market crashed. And I seen homes at the time that were selling for $200,000 being sold for $35,000. I got one house for $13,000. In the past, it had sold for like $130,000. Now we're talking 15 years ago, but the point being is I had cash on hand to go out and buy a $30,000 house. I had cash on hand to go out and buy that $13,000 house. Let's go back one step when I told you that Ed told me that I could borrow against the 401k. One of the homes I went, I borrowed against the 401k, fixed that house up super nice, flipped it, paid myself back, not the bank, paid myself back by putting that money back in my 401k, added, took $10,000 out and put the rest even more in the 401k, and it built up more. So what I found out on my own is cash is king. Cash is king for a rainy day, bro. Not all your cash. I can't tell you what percentage cash is king, but having a lump sum somewhere is definitely king.